Are we live again? Are we still live? Hello? What's, can I have background music, please? I am extremely sorry. I have no idea what's going on. Hi, sorry. My internet decided it no longer wanted to exist. Um, we still here? Okay, now the banging's gonna be obvious because they're, oh, oh my. Okay, are we back? OBS will not stay. If it goes out again, I get a little notification. If OBS goes out again, I think I'll just end stream early because um the internet has decided that it's no longer. Our Wi-Fi router is, there's something wrong with it. Um so, and the banging, I know the banging is audible now because it is so loud. Um, we're just gonna try to continue like that didn't happen, and like this is absolutely normal until it decides it no longer wants to be. Okay, that's good. It's, I can see it being picked up um on my audio mixer on OBS. So I'm at least a little worried. Hopefully my background music is hiding it enough that it's not noticeable. Um, Speaking of, I forgot to change. Sorry, I thought I heard a bing. Um, I forgot to change what the background music was in my description. That's fine. We'll do that later. Anyway, I don't remember if I was talking about anything um before the catastrophe. Yeah, I think we were talking about drawing on things. It doesn't matter. I wish I knew what they were doing over there. They are So loud. And for what? Um, yeah, I don't know. The groove has been lost. The train of thought is gone. One more. One more little round of these petals. There, that looks good enough. I have to decide whether I want the petals under or over. They're probably... The flower is probably over the hair. Ooh. I always love talking about my stories. Um... Yeah. I wish I could talk about the RP I'm in right now. But my group has been... Things are still being figured out, so there has been no role playing happening. So instead, I've been focused on this new story that does not have a name, but might be along the lines of Valley or of something or something change. I don't know. But this is the one with that I'm creating with Silent Promise and the skull cat I showed off, whose official name is now Strider. But I am beginning to create a semblance of a story. As in, I have an end goal. It's just all about getting to that. Because I haven't really done any stories where the clans change locations. So I thought that would be a perfect thing to do for this one. The clans, as they are right at the beginning of the story, are Lush Clan, Heath Clan, and Runnel Clan. And the story goes that the story starts after a very rough leaf bear. It was extremely cold, and there was a severe lack of food, so there was some loss during the winter months, and then come spring, or come New Leaf, uh, there's another problem because food is still scarce, and there is a group of rogues that have been terrorizing the clans and stealing their food. Um, and so, like, by the end of the story, or by the time they leave to go to the new place, that I'm trying to decide, uh, each clan has about 8 to 10 to 12-ish members. Um, in it, and unfortunately, even though Silent Promise was created specifically, like, she was the catalyst for this story being created, she has been put on the wayside a little, in my planning process. Because I'm had other more interesting characters happen in my brain. I also have no idea if I'm ever going to tell this story in any form that isn't just me talking about it right here, right now. Because I don't even know what form I would make this story take. Other than if I can learn how to animate, I would love to animate literally any of my stories. So, who knows? But anyway, one of the characters that happened to outshine Silent Promise is, so there was an adopt I kept. It's literally day one of this Adoptober thing. Bat Bark, I ended up keeping. And I made him a sister, named, Snake Hiss, because I wanted them to have, thematically similar, I guess, names. Or more like, I guess, their names are opposites in the way of, Bark and Hiss. But also, the storyline I have for their names, and mostly why Bat Bark is named Bat Bark despite being bright white and yellow, is that he was originally Snake Kit, and she was originally Bat Kit, but they ended up fitting the other's name better as they got a little older. So their parents, Icy Dusk and Honey Badger switched their names, which is fun. Um, and like they're very similar, but in like opposite ways, I guess. Um, they both have a strong sense of like justice, and um, they're both very ambitious, but Snake Hiss uh, tends to follow her heart more, while Bat Bark tends to follow the warrior code. Um, and part of this is because their dad is a deputy. Uh, so they both feel like they have a kind of they have a reason to protect the clan in any way they can, um, and to do their best for it. Um, part of the conflict that is the rogues and Snake Hiss deciding that, or figuring out that the rogues are probably part of the reason why there's a food shortage. She sneaks out with some of her clanmates to go take care of the rogue problem, and all but like two of them make it out, including her. And she is, if she had not been confrontational about it, she probably would have just gotten off with some minor punishment. But she was adamant that her choice was the correct one, and her father and brother were um, not thinking of the clan and the leader. But I haven't really thought about Hillstar all that much yet. Um, he's mostly just a passive force so far. Um, and she leaves Lush Clan, partially because she was exiled, but partially because she exiled herself, I guess. Um, oh, and I completely forgot that part of why she is so adamant that the rogues need to be gotten rid of is she accidentally walked in on the healer getting a very scary prophecy or an omen. That pretty much said that the clans are gonna die if things do not change. That everyone is in danger. So she, along with, because I can't ever just let it be about one clan. It's gotta be all of the clans, doing something. But, She, along with um, Runnel Clan's a Runnel Clan warrior named Viper Strike, who was his story is that he was originally part of the rogue group, but he left because they're bad. I don't know. He left and joined Runnel Clan, but then the leader found out and exiled him. So he's going on this journey with Snake Hiss, but Viper Strike and Silk Moon of Heath Clan. She is she left her clan because of an abusive mate. He I guess warning for animal death. He they had a family, and he killed her kids, or killed their kids, and he is now threatening her life. So she decided she had to get out of there. The leader, Frenzy Star, was not listening to her, and she had to get out of there. I know. I just know not everyone likes hearing about children dying, and I didn't know how else to put a warning. But yeah, they all travel together and find this new place. It's like a valley. I don't have it completely figured out yet. But they also make new friends in a loner named Wyatt and his two children, Artemis and Apollo. Because I have two really old OCs whose non-warrior names were Artemis and Apollo, and I really wanted to bring them into something. And this seemed like the perfect spot. So yeah, and the story goes that they find this valley and they're like, "Oh, that's perfect. That's the perfect place for the clans to live." So they travel back to where the clans are, and there is a fire. The rogues lit each of the territories, the clan's territories, on fire. Because Runnel Clan and Lush Clan live in a foresty area, and then Heath Clan lives in long grass. Anyway, the rogues light the place up, mostly so they can drive out. They want to weaken and drive out the clan cats so that they can have the territory. Um, I haven't figured out where they got the fire yet. Um, but likely I mean it's a forest, so uh by that point it's probably like summertime. So my justification would be that they stole fire from like a bonfire. Um, a neglected bonfire or something. I don't know. Um, but either way, they light the territories on fire. Um, most cats make it out, but not everyone. I haven't decided the exact events yet, but this story is like a week or two old. So, um, I'm still trying to decide whether the clans go and fight um the rogues in like a final battle before they leave, or whether they just leave. Um, yeah, I have a lot of time to think. Um, I'm just constantly thinking about my silly battle cats. Um, but yeah, I haven't decided yet whether they are going to fight the rogues or whether they're just going to leave. Um, either way, they leave after a bunch of convincing. Um, after they have to convince the leaders because they don't want to leave, but they eventually do. Um, and yeah, that's basically mostly the end of the story. They travel and go to the new place, and they live happily ever after or something. I want to spend more time um, developing the characters. Um, because I have, in my first story, I realized that I focused on the main characters. Um, and I started building up some of the side characters, but not very well. Um, and then Lurking Shadows, I did not build up the characters like at all. This is why I'm rewriting these stories. Yeah. Plus, I'm having a lot of fun working with these new characters, um, and designing them. I'm having a lot of fun coming up with designs. That is not the color I wanted, actually. It's also not the color I wanted. Oops. Actually, what do we want to do for color? Give me one moment. Gotta mute for a second. I'm back. Anyway, yeah, that is the outline, I guess, of currently unnamed story. I actually have to mute again. Give me a moment. Back again. It is still. Anyway, but yeah, other than figuring out like a few minor details, and creating a few more characters, that's mostly how I want the story to go. And I'm still coloring this, so maybe I'll talk about another story. Yeah, I'll talk about Fate's Line, which is getting renamed, but to what I'm not quite sure yet. My sweet eldest child of a story, Fate's Line. Often neglected for the other stories that I'm writing. But since I'm rewriting it anyway, I might as well spill everything. Because unlike the 2-week story that I just told, I started working on, or started developing, quote unquote, Fate's Line in 2020. Because I actually got into Warriors pretty late in the game. In 2019. And then I created my own clans. Sun Clan, Moon Clan, and Eclipse Clan. Because I am original. So where to start? So the story of Fate's Line, which may get renamed to Gifted Skies, Gifted Stars, I don't know. gifted something or other. So the story, anyway, is that um, after after an event that killed off um, the gifted cats that are um, granted the ability to see uh, the spirits of StarClan outside of StarClan, as well as being gifted a an ability to um, help them with like what they're doing, help them keep the clans safe. Um, there was an event that killed off most of the uh, living gifted cats. After years and years of the clans being separated, because this event separated Sun, Moon, and Eclipse clan, they finally start associating with each other again, I guess. And because things seem all fine and dandy, um, StarClan sends the clans some new gifted cats. One for each clan. And part of the story that is that they were all born um, on the day of a gathering. One moment. Dog barking. Anyway, I don't like this. So three gifted cats. There's Mossy Glow, who she can transmit's not the right word. She can feel other cats' emotions as well as make them feel her own. Which seems kind of cool, except that she learns from a very young age that her emotions can cause problems for others. So she learns how to bottle up her emotions real quick. Yes, she's an empath. But yeah, she very quickly learns that the best emotion for her to have is calm. Which she uses a lot because the other thing is that all of this batch of gifted cats, they've been made healers because that's what the clans thought was the correct move. Um, so she uses her power a lot to keep cats calm in the healer den. I'll be honest, I have no clue what I'm doing. Anyway, um, the next cat with powers is Nettlepool of Moon Clan. Did I say that Mossy was from Sun Clan? If I didn't, that's where she's from. Anyway, Nettlepool can sense, not sense. Nettlepool's power is that he can see, uh, the aura of cats when they're sick or hurt. Um, and they have like different colors and intensities for what's happening and how bad it is. Um, he unfortunately part of the um, his big problem is one that he hates that he can see when cats are sick and dying and stuff. Um, and that he is essentially when he becomes a healer's apprentice, he is essentially given the task to um, do rounds and see if people are sick. Um, but it doesn't help that the way he discovered that he had this power was when his mom died. Gotta give that a fun trauma. So yeah, Nettle does not enjoy his powers, and he very much wishes he was not gifted. Um, but it's also given him a sense of wanting to protect his loved ones. He is a bit overprotective, or not overprotective, but like overbearing in his protectiveness. Um, he will sometimes get into grooves where he watches over his loved ones too much, and it can cause a little bit of a rift. Um, and then the third cat of this trio uh, is my beloved Angel Wish. Her power is that she can make um, she can make spirit cats visible to the non-gifted. Um, as well as she can um, make spirit cats invisible to gifted cats, which she uses to hide her little friend, Shadow Wish, who she was unknowingly named after. Um, and Shadow Wish she's a bad kitty. Not really, actually. Shadow Wish is also gifted. She was actually one of the first gifted. And essentially, her power is, it's kind of like Lion Blaze's power in canon, but like actually fully realized. Um, she can become pretty much invincible um, when she's in like a fighting mode. It's probably linked to adrenaline, but I haven't like finalized if that's actually how that works or not. But yeah, her power actually is important in the story. Um, but that'll be later. Um, so the clans start a thing where um they want the gifted cats to kind of be an actual group. So in the daytime, the day of half moon meetings, um, the gifted cats are, or the gifted apprentices are taken to one of the clans, um, and they all hang out there, and essentially one mentor gets to have three three apprentices on their plate for a day. Um, and so that causes Nettle, Mossy, and Angel to become pretty close friends. Um, Now give me a second while I look up colors. Um, so yeah, they become pretty close friends, and at one point, Angel Wish and Mossy Glow begin dating, or become mates. I don't know what to call a dating-esque whatever. Um, but yeah, um, they become friends. They're very close with each other, even after their apprenticeship, because the clans just kind of keep up the daily or the daytime half moon stuff, even after they become full healers. But things come to a head when um, a the cats get a prophecy omen. Haven't really decided yet. Um, and essentially, StarClan says, or it's interpreted that StarClan says one of you does not belong. Um, and it is decided that it is Angel that is the outsider. Um, that I have to rewrite because I haven't come up with a good reason yet why they choose Angel. Um, I know why I chose Angel, but either way, um, it is decided that Angel Wish is the one StarClan was warning about. Um, and so she is pretty much effective immediately. She is demoted from being a healer, even though she was forced into this role, and she has made the most of being a healer. She really enjoys it. So it's really frustrating to her that the stars have just decided to uproot her entire life, essentially. And she tries to train as a warrior, but the only thing she's any good at is battle training, but not because she's skillful. It's just because she's huge, and because she's part Maine Coon. But she's huge, so she knows how to toss around her weight. Oh my god! Give me a second. The dogs are... Okay, we're gonna keep going. Anyway, she knows how to throw around her weight. And she does learn some stuff. Anyway, Angel tries her best to... Yes, the dogs are... There's like a truck outside that they're barking at. I don't know. They're always barking at something. Anyway, Angel tries to bargain with whoever she can to get back her job and get back her position. She goes to StarClan directly and is like, be more specific, and they are not. And it comes to a point where she goes back to her mentor, Honeybee, and is pretty much like, give me my job back, and Honeybee says no, and it kickstarts a rampage, essentially. Angel, the plot point is essentially that Angel Wish and Shadow Wish, they're both extremely angry. Shadow is angry for Angel, and Angel is just angry for herself. And their same mindset, and same emotions, allow it so that Shadow Wish can possess Angel Wish. They trigger some kind of something that I haven't figured out yet. Anyway, then essentially Angel goes on a massacre. She goes through all 3 clans, and she gets a lot. She injures and kills a lot of cats. And she's finally stopped in Sun Clan when yeah. When Mossy Glow tries to talk to her, um, and eventually, someday, I will either draw or animate this because it is so vivid in my mind. Um, so Mossy stops her, or tries to at least, um, and tries to get her to calm down. And by this point, it's just Angel Wish. Um, Angel is so hopped up on whatever that her target, who is uh, the Sun Clan healer, Pale Whisper, um, she can't stop. She needs to end it all. Um, and Mossy chases her. Um, since Sun Clan is uh right by, like, it's the camp is in a mountain essentially. Um, Mossy and Angel are climbing up this like rock fall up to the leader's den where Pale Whisper is, and Mossy Glow accidentally knocks um knocks Angel down, and Angel Wish is ended. As I speak this, I realize that this is messed up. Anyway, that is the end of Angel's reign of terror. Um, and the beginning of Mossy's uh, endless stress. Um, so after all that, um, there is no longer a healer for Eclipse Clan. There's no longer a healer for Eclipse Clan, so Mossy Glow, um, because in between this time, Nettlepool leaves Moon Clan and joins Sun Clan to become a warrior. There is no there's only one sorry. Only Sun Clan has more than one healer. Um, so of course, uh, Mossy is chosen to train the next uh, Eclipse Clan healer. Um, which she does. She trains little Spring Paw. Um, and she enjoys it, but she's by the end of it, she's ready to go home, and she comes home to another apprentice, um, and also her mentor, uh, no longer being, um, but that's just for some added. It's needed for plot reasons. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. So Mossy just spent 6 moons, uh, training Springpaw, and she comes home, uh, and now has to train Stormpaw, and like 2 moons after that, um, she um is told during a gathering that StarClan has gifted um the clans with more uh gifted cats. Um and so since Mossy is the oldest and technically the only one still active, I suppose, um Mossy is essentially now given 3 more apprentices, um, because um, one of MoonClan has uh, two healer apprentices, mostly because their healer Sand Swirl is old, and she wanted to uh, have someone to uh, succeed her. And there were 2 interested children, um, Fernpaw and Nightpaw, and it's believed that Nightpaw is gifted. Spoiler alert: he is not, and neither is Fernpaw. Um, but alongside them, Eclipse Clan has a new gifted cat in um Dovepaw. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, now Mossy has a bunch of cats to train. Um, and this guy's actually almost done, and I have to go. Um, so unfortunately, I'm gonna have to cut the story short. Uh, but also, most of the ending stuff is not very good and needs to be rewritten. Um, but yeah, I'm going to end it here for now. I'm gonna end stream. Uh, I'll finish this guy off stream, and I will be posting these probably in a couple hours. They'll be posted on Toy House first, um, and then on DA. So yeah, bye. See ya. Thank you for coming. See you tomorrow.